his outfits more importantly.
I mean, but
I can stomach Jericho. I think I'm sick of Jericho.
I mean, we all live in Jericho. I love the fact that that's the cold open because I had to hit live in order to do what I needed to do.
Thanks for getting us dislikes.
Family, welcome everybody to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I am the family man, Eric.
I'm Lord Manny Hayes, the man that's single-handedly boosting the UK economy with all his alcoholic drinks.
Damn. And I'm just Marcus the Grand Finale.
But Marcus, you can be more if you have family. What's going on, everybody?
Fuck that, and fuck that joke. It's played. I'm done with it.
But Marcus,
too much. It's stupid. It was played when Fast 7 came out. Now people doing it for when Fast 9 come out. I'm just like, this is useless.
And Marcus, they're gonna do it when F10 comes out, and they're gonna do it when F11 comes out. Marcus, it is what it is.
Hold on, can I reply? F10, F11, and F12.
I don't think there's a 12, Marcus.
I believe 12 is the last one.
I thought 11 was the last one.
Oh, they got two more, huh? F10,
yeah.
F11. I think 11 is gonna be 2 parts.
Technically, 9 should have been the last one.
Go see part A. Go see part B.
9. I think 5 was when we went too far.
Yeah.
Manny, no, 9 it went too far, man. Come on, man. There was 2 brothers in the place that they didn't need to be with no training. I mean, this was as bad as what they did in Armageddon when they put drillers on top of an asteroid to save the world. And we already have the chat room with jumping.
It worked, didn't it?
We have.
They made a bad decision.
We have. And then you have Wes.
SCU.
SCU. So the question of if we're SCU, which one of us will become the elite killer? Who's the elite killer afterwards?
Well, clearly, Eric, you are Christopher Daniels because you're 50 years old and you won't hang it up.
I'll take that.
And you can't even do your moonsaults anymore.
And so
I don't want to say the other parts. I'm Scorpio Sky.
So you're just
I'm just there. I just exist to be Scorpio Sky.
Greetings from the PNW Pacific North. Manny, I must know, how do you feel with Azuri and the 3 Lions go for gold in Wembley? Oh, soccer talk.
So I have some spaghetti here. This is how I feel.
Manny, I have no interpretation of what the hell that meant.
First of all,
you're about to snap.
Marcus,
why do you have spaghetti ready?
Yeah, that's my big. Why are you sitting in your bedroom with raw spaghetti?
This motherfucker's spaghetti ready.
Yeah. What the hell?
Ready?
That might be the strangest thing that's ever happened on this show.
Are you cooking spaghetti right there?
You just snapped
I am not cooking spaghetti. No, spaghetti is well known for Italian dishes. So what I'm doing, snapping it.
I see. Aha.
What else am I gonna do? I'm gonna put pineapple on pizza. It's disgusting, but I'm still gonna do it.
Pineapple on pizza, as long as you have a salty bacon on it, it's not that bad.
No, that is going too far. No, I'll tell you what is dog shit, though. Pineapple hot dogs. Don't try that. Be shitting for weeks.
Wait, why would you try pineapple hot dog? What the fuck is that?
So,
what food poisoning have you got?
So, the doghouse provides pineapple hot dogs. And my job, for the 4th of July, gave us all a doghouse for lunch and stuff, and had the pineapple one. It didn't sound good, but I was like, you know what? I'm the man to try this. I tried it. Nope. Exactly what I thought it was. A goddamn pineapple hot dog.
But the good news, Marcus, I would say that you tried it, and guess what? you didn't spend any money for it. So it's not like you know that now you know you don't like it. It's worse when you buy something, experiment with your own money, and you're like, damn, I paid for that. and you know, it's not like
I saw the regret. I saw 1,000 years of regrets of every bad purchase you had in your eyes.
This man,
you're still regretting buying that Sega Dreamcast all those years ago.
Adrian, Marcus had a grilled pineapple hot dog. We still don't understand why he chose that when he got a free hot dog, but that's what happened.
No, that's not what he's actually like. What about grilled pineapple?
Well, I mean, we were talking.
I don't know how you missed that question. I don't know how you didn't comprehend that question.
Well, Marcus, I did go to Bannon High School in Wilmington, California, and I think that explains a lot.
Yokozuna went there.
I don't think that made the point any worse or better. But I would be part of the family, though. The family. So, gentlemen.
Grilled pineapple
okay. Family.
Yeah, the Wyatt family, the Manson family.
So you go wide, do you go to the
family.
Manson family? The Addams family?
I was going to go Family Ties after that. They fucked up.
The Fast family?
Hmm?
Anyway.
You know, during that stupid joke, I've got spaghetti all over my desk now.
Well, the fact that you were waiting with spaghetti.
You had this plan all week.
Yeah, in production meeting, you had the spaghetti on your desk, and you just was holding that hostage just to drop it on us. I mean, Manny, I appreciate the dedication for your spaghetti. So
well, I'm glad I didn't do anything like that because we were playing against the Phoenix Suns, and I think I would have to break Sun Chips, and I hate Sun Chips anyway. So I would have to just start smashing them, chewing them and spitting them out, and just making a big mess of Sun Chips.
Well, the question that El Luchador has asked, the real question, who is the Dom Toretto of you three? I don't want to be Dom Toretto, so I'll give it to either Marcus or Manny in that situation.
No, I think I'm more of a wild card. I think I'm Statham.
Well, I like to be modest. I'm just gonna say I'm the Rock and I'm saving this shit.
I'm Brian because I'm dead. That's all I got with that one. Anyway.
Oh, he's not dead.
I know he pulled up to the scene with the ceiling missing. So, gentlemen, we have finally made it to an end of an era. It is over. The pandemic has left us, and professional wrestling is back with fans.
The pandemic hasn't left.
Marcus, for the narratives that I'm giving right now, it is gone.
It's
Friday,
not even a real narrative. Because the last Thunderdome show is Monday.
Oh!
They taped Raw.
Oh! I did not know that.
That was the SmackDown era.
That was the end of the SmackDown era. I thought the Thunderdome was done for good. So never mind. Well, AEW is done with, stage audiences. And they have a live audience. And with a live audience, you have live things that can happen. Manny, I'll turn to you. Because I know how you feel about live audiences. And, well, a fan decided that he needed to get inside the ring doing the Chris Jericho MJF segment. Is this why we should never have fan back in the building?
No, this is completely, as I told Marcus, this is completely Jericho's fault for his little absorbing of everyone singing his stupid entrance theme that has gone on for too long. That allowed him to go, I'm going to run in the ring. And if there was ever a you deserve it moment where he got punched by Jericho, that was it.
The punch of Jericho.
Marcus, did you get a chance to see the quote that the guy posted about how he was doing it for the fans and stuff like that, and Jim Cornette would appreciate? What type of self-righteous SOB is this guy?
That is a real man right there. He's a legend on Twitter. I believe he's going to come out with a podcast next. It's going to have more followers and listeners than we have, and it's going to be full of rubbish and insanity.
We celebrated 150 on Thursday. We are now on 152.
Hey, break the spaghetti. Let's break some more spaghetti for that one.
Marcus, El Luchador says, can you beat Jericho?
In a fight? Yes. He's a 50-year-old man. If I don't beat him, I'm ashamed of myself. And he's soft and pudgy. But then again, I'm someone just as big.
Overall,
yeah, I take Jericho.
So, I mean, I might as well start off with Dynamite since it wasn't. Did you guys enjoy the live episode of Dynamite, Manny?
You make it sound like it's their first live episode.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while.
The last week episode was live.
Marcus, let Manny talk. Marcus, let Manny talk. Don't make me mute you yet. Don't make me mute you.
So me and Marcus have debuted on Thursday the 3-strike rule for a show. So the report will stop if it hits 3 strikes.
Oh boy.
I was being quite lenient with AEW this week, where I believe the 3rd strike came with MJF and Jericho. But I was being lenient. I gave the 3rd strike to the main event.
Yeah. I don't know how he gonna get to the main event. You may as well not take a strike.
Well, Marcus,
but I didn't find it enjoyable. I enjoyed parts of it. I didn't enjoy all of it.
Well, Marcus took some liberty with me because I told him that I did not hate the strap match between Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall. Now, I don't care about these people, but I thought for what it was, people were invested. I thought they did a good enough job telling the story. I thought that the people in the audience cared. The people in the audience cared.
They were sitting on their hands the entire time.
Well, they really just didn't care.
No one gave a shit about this match.
Well, Marcus, I was trying to talk about why I enjoyed the match, but clearly you want to talk about why you hated the match. So go ahead, sir. Talk about the hate that you have for this match.
Talk about your joy.
No,
Spread joy, Aaron.
No, Marcus.
Speak your joy. Speak your joy.
No, I'm not speaking. I don't want to speak it anymore.
Joy.
I'm family first. Family first. Marcus, check out the new shirt that Marcus got from StoreFrontier.com, rocking the Sharpshooters brand. On this, I thought you got the red shirt.
I got the Untitled Mania Market shirt in red.
So you wear
I
that.
don't want to walk around looking like a giant Kool-Aid bowl.
But anyway, Marcus, why did you hate the bull rope match?
The bull rope match is so stupid. Well, it wasn't a bull, it was a strap match. South Beach strap match. And I was excited when I learned that they had to touch all 4 corners. Excuse me. However, a lot of stuff was just cheap low blows. I feel like nobody got whipped. They never used the whip as a weapon. It was them walking around. They had the lights cut off in the middle, but I guess was preluding to something else later. It was just so stupid. I just didn't care. Cody had a chance to touch all 4 corners, but distracted by Aaron Soho or whatever his name is.
I like to refer to him as Bailey's ex.
Fuck him. In general. So he stopped because of that when he could have easily just hit the thing. They didn't explain the rules at any point. This is a stupid match. I hated it.
I mean, I agree it was stupid, but I thought for a match to start the show off, I thought it was good enough because, I mean, they had enough star power. I mean, true, QT Marshall is not even close to a star, but in Cody's eyes, you know, he's here racism, and with liberty, the world will unite. I mean, it started to show off. For me, I think that, as always, I think that AEW tends to do a little bit too much when they're doing things. And, Manny, you have your hand up, so go ahead.
I would have rather watched Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Savio Vega in a 4 corners match 2,000 times over this.
Yes!
Well,
and better yet, I'd rather watch Jackson Riker and Elias go 2 more weeks of their strap match feud than this.
Marcus, if you notice in the show title, I said a little bit of Raw, Marcus. Don't bring up Raw because then as the 3 strikes,
a little bit.
The 3 strikes, I'm going to incorporate the 3 strikes. If we mention 3 things about Raw, that's all we're going to talk about. So you dismissing.
Raw may not make the first hour.
Huh?
Raw may not make the first hour this week. I may just give it strikes just so I can take my ass to sleep and do a show later. You're like, nope. Nope, no pyro to start the show. Nope. Oh, it's a tape show? Oh, nope. Thunderdome. Oh, 3 strikes, you're out, bro.
So
3 strikes, you're out. And so am I.
So, like I said, I always feel like AEW does a little bit too much. And for example, we got the debut of Andrade El Idolo against Matt Sydal. Marcus, how did you feel about his debut? Did you think the fans really cared that he was in that match?
Okay, so first of all, I think he needs a name change. I know El Idolo, whatever. He needs a name change.
It's too hard to pronounce.
It's too hard to say. It's too hard to say. And whenever I hear anybody says it, it sounds like they're making stuff up. Andrade and like it seems like they're just making up words at the end of it. This is Andrade. We gotta say El Idolo because we don't have the rest of the other part of his name. Like I hate it. It is stupid. He needs to change it. Needs to work on it. Andrade something else. This debut went way too long. He fought Matt Sydal, the biggest loser at AEW, or one of them.
He ranked number 5.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that in a second.
Ranked number 5, But I just felt like if you're gonna have a debut and you're gonna make a splash on a program, you better make quick work of people. Cause look at my girl Tegan Knox and our girl Shotzi Blackheart. They made quick work of the champs in their debut. Quick work. Andrade went through a commercial break.
Manny, what about you? What did you think about Andrade's debut on AEW?
It was a bit. Do you know when you've been hyping it up for a couple of weeks, you expect it to be either a spectacular match or a squash match, and this definitely should have been a squash match. It shouldn't have been as competitive as it was. They should have put him out there with some idiot from the Nightmare Academy just so he could get a quick win, instead of putting someone against Matt Sydal who has some credibility and he should struggle with a little bit. This shouldn't have been the first match he should have had. This is probably the third match. If you go the WWE route of how you debut a star, this is probably the third match you have after like a couple of squash matches.
But I think the biggest thing I take liberty with about his whole debut is that this was his debut. This is what he built up for. He's the king of Latinos. He's going to debut in Miami and beat up a nobody, Matt Sydal, pretty much, who we learned on that night that he was ranked number 5. And I think this is to give him some credence to jump into the ratings. However, I think that his debut and his relevance to me became overshadowed when we had the debut of Malachi Black, because I think they treated his debut as a bigger debut because he debuted and he took action. I disagree with how everything took place because technically Cody had just participated in this strap match and then somehow he was miraculously healed and was in the ring with Arn Anderson, who was cut a promo that no one needed him to cut.
Wait, you can't have a problem with Cody coming back out an hour and a half later, fully clothed. And, I want a strap match in which he won and he didn't really get whipped.
I want him to sell the relevance of that match.
Like the strap. There was no relevance really. QT Marshall took a nut shot and no sold it.
That is also true. But like the thing is, when you came away from this episode of Dynamite, I think the biggest thing was that, hey, Malachi Black is there, formerly known as Aleister Black, and the fact that he was selling his eye injury that he had gotten the other company, which I thought was even more entertaining. And I hate the fact that it looks like he's going to be in a feud with Cody because everyone has to feud with Cody first. But at the same time, I still thought he came across as a bigger star, and now Andrade is going to be pushed back to the background again. Manny, what do you have to say to any of that?
Well, I think he's going to end up fighting Brock Anderson first because he hurt my daddy. He hurt my daddy. And then unfortunately Malachi Black is going to lose to Cody because he's on that mid-card Triple H bullshit.
Marcus,
I don't believe there's going to be much of a feud with Cody. I feel like, it seems like he kicked Cody and Arn. They could go in a feud, but what could that feud actually be about? Do you see Malachi Black going, you have ruined wrestling, or what would be what's the story here? I can't imagine what the promos would be against each other. I just thought it was the splash debut they needed because Arn Anderson had no reason to be in the ring anyway. What were they interviewing Arn Anderson about? So I think he's just gonna kick Cody. I think he's gonna kick Cody, and Cody's gonna go away for a while, and he's just gonna be on Dynamite. I don't even think it's a feud.
So another thing, I think Ethan Page, I think he comes across as somebody relevant. I enjoyed the sit-down interview with him and Darby Allin when they were talking to JR about what was going on, and they're trying to hype up this coffin match that, I mean, we've seen coffin matches before. I think the biggest thing I took away...
We have seen casket matches. We haven't seen coffin matches.
That is correct, but I'm assuming they're one of the same.
No, you got to touch all 4 quarters before you put them in the casket.
The thing that I took away from this, again, was that, Scorpio Sky gets no type of play. He is not relevant at all in this entire segment because Ethan Page can handle himself. The greatest moment, because when I was watching AEW, is that Shantae saw a picture of Ethan Page with his shades on and said, oh, he was okay looking. Then when they got to all his shades, he was like, oh, no, that's not the same guy that was right there, is it? So it's a...
What?
That is not. By the way, that is not a good compliment. If a woman says you are okay looking, that means you need work.
Well, that's true. Marcus, the coffee match. Are you looking forward to the coffee match? The coffee
match.
You're gonna need some coffee to stay up.
We had a mimosa match. We're due for a coffee match, right?
Yeah.
In which
what follows that? The
coffee.
diarrhea. The diarrhea takeover match. At the end?
Yeah. Diarrhea match. Go to the toilet. Get to the toilet. Who can fill it up the most?
So, Mark, so Darby Allin spoke.
I think it's gonna be all right. But excuse me, let me finish, sir. Let me say my point. You asked me a question. I thought the conversation was all right, and the coffee match is probably gonna be okay. That's all you had to wait for. I had nothing else.
So, Manny, Ross said, Jim Ross, not Ross, who's been on the show, said he doesn't have a good feeling about this coffee match. Do you have a good feeling about that, Mr. I'm in Witness Anonymous right now?
Witness protection, you mean?
We don't know who you are.
What is that? Like Alcoholic Anonymous mixed in with Witness protection?
Yes.
Like, I'm a little drunk and I know what I saw. I saw what I saw.
I think this is going to be very sloppy. I don't think they're going to rehearse anything about it. So someone's probably going to get hurt during it. Mostly Darby. But the most interesting thing about JR, his little mistake about WWE Dynamite, people are sending him death threats.
Yeah. It's...
What assholes?
Yeah.
I don't understand the AEW audience. It's so interesting to me. But then I guess it's also the Twitter culture where people think they can do what the hell that they want to do. I mean, fact that they got into the ring with Jericho and MJF, a storyline I think that nobody wants, that we might as well talk about right now. I don't think I care about Jericho going through the 5 stages of MJF just to get to MJF. I don't care. I don't want to see this match. I kind of hope that it stops after match 2 where, guess what? You can't fight me, MJF. Manny, you started the show talking about how you disliked it, Jericho and MJF. What did you dislike about this entire segment?
It just went nowhere from the beginning. And then even when we got to the point where he was listing the 5 things that Jericho needed to do, I was just like, you should have listed out everything like he did with Cody months ago. It was ridiculous. It was the ridiculous stipulations that he gave Cody where he had to get 10 whips and all this stuff. At least you knew everything that was happening. This, we don't know what's happening, and I don't think I'm going to be even surprised when it does.
Yeah, it's only he gets to fight 5 random opponents of MJF approval or something. I don't honestly know what the plan is. It just means you get 5 matches with Jericho. This should be the retirement of Jericho. Let him go all the way up to MJF and then lose and then have to retire. But that should be the story because it's over. I don't want to see any of these matches. I'm sure one of the matches is going to be him versus Sammy Guevara or someone in the inner circle.
I just think the whole thing has been played out. But something that I thought AEW did somewhat well, that I didn't think it was perfect, but I thought the exchange between Adam Page and Kenny Omega was actually one of the few entertaining moments that took place on the show. I didn't like Evil Uno's involvement because he looks like a bad butler or a host at a bad restaurant, but it got to a point where we finally, I guess we can
That's
say...
a shitty restaurant where...
Evil Uno would be... We would all look like Evil Uno if we put on that mask and entered the ring.
You know, Manny, as they say, we hate what we are. So I'm allowed to hate that. So with that...
Evil Uno is trash.
Marcus, do you think that the slow build that they did for Hangman versus Omega has actually built it up to the point?
They should have did it a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Marcus, because
a month ago. I would have said like 6 months ago.
So
somewhere along those lines, because all these other guys that Kenny had beaten and Jungle Boy and all that, they don't feel like they had a chance anyway. He goes against Hangman Page, and I don't feel Hangman Page has a chance either. He's gonna lose too. And then after this feud, what do you have left? What do you have left for Kenny to do? All your big stars are heels. Aleister Black with his one eye, evil. Andrade, apparently evil because he continued to attack Matt Sydal after the match. Who else? They're all evil. And it's just a way. I don't care about anybody. Darby Allin would be a contender, but he was more obsessed with the North American title.
I mean, at the end of the day, Marcus, I think the one person who is the only face in the company, and that's the way that he wants it because he has the baby that can cure racism and all the famine in the world, is Cody Rhodes. But as you recall,
Cody's not even in this company anymore.
Because Cody can't challenge for the title.
He's in his own verse. All right, he's in the Cody verse, in which he only fights people in his Nightmare Family gym or something on his show. That's where he's at.
Manny,
that's where he's gonna stay.
Manny,
he doesn't have any intention to be a part of the show. He's upset that there's not more Nightmare Family people featured on the show, and that there's all these ex-WWE guys on the show that will draw more people.
That keep coming. Now, Manny, I would like you to answer the question about liking the segment, but I also would like you to defend yourself for what was taking place in the chat room, because I do not feel that you're an asshole, Manny. I don't understand where that came from.
I believe I am at times when I want to be. when I fully hate people and their existence when they're in an audience, and wrestling fans. We already established this. If I went to a live event, Marcus, what we're going to have, the coal mine with a little post box where I could see out of and no one could see it.
Manny has pure hate in his heart, people. Yes.
Yeah, it simmers.
Manny, we could be the Hate Brothers tag team because I agree with you. F the fans.
Yeah, fuck the
They've
fans.
been smoking hate all day.
But
I'm also in a...
Marcus, it's Manny's turn, Marcus.
Agreement on that too.
I don't actually have an answer for this because I enjoyed it, but the person that was talking about the slow build and everything, which is now seeming quite rushed, is the person in the chat, which is El Luchador, who was talking about the rise of Adam Page in 2022. It's happening early.
It is. So, Marcus, I want to go back to something that you said. You said that you don't believe that if Kenny defeats Adam Page, that he doesn't have another opponent to face. Do you think they could put Darby Allin in that position to be the one that defeats Kenny Omega?
They could, but I don't really want to see that either. It's not a matchup right now. I want to see Omega in this company. Like, I feel like they burned. I know you say WWE does a bunch of whatever their rematches, people fight all the time and the same thing, but I feel like they burned through a lot of people already, and there's nothing that intrigues me. And everybody kind of fights the same. Like, if I'm watching Jungle Boy wrestle Kenny Omega, how much different is that really going to be than watching either Sammy Guevara or somebody like that fight Kenny Omega? They all wrestle kind of the same, except for Darby will throw himself down the stairs or something.
So,
do you
Manny,
go full circle, and then do you go back to Mox?
Well, that's because Mox comes back next week. But Manny, do you agree with Marcus that there is just too many heels inside of AEW to make it a very prominent thing where we can have appropriate matchups? Because you have Rusev, who's a heel. You have the Lance Hoyt, who's a heel. I think he's a heel. I'm not really sure what he is.
Wow,
right
Lance
now.
Hoyt.
Yeah, I called him.
He's a bit of both. You don't know what he's going to be when he comes in. There are too many heels, but and they haven't really developed any new faces other than Jungle Boy.
And then, do we really know what the inner circle is in this situation? Because are they like tweeners? Are they faces or are they heels? Like, what is Sammy Guevara?
They are a mess. That's what they are.
Did you enjoy
the whole situation's a mess?
Did you enjoy the 6-man tag that took place between Santana, Ortiz, Jake Hager, and FTR? For me personally, I'm tired of Santana and Ortiz losing because that's all that it seems that they do. But whatever. What about you, Manny?
The people of color. That's what happens in AEW.
It was. I actually, as much as I wanted to hate this match, it was actually really good.
It was.
It was just the fact that it's the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle, and I don't like that story. It should have ended ages ago, and it's continuing, and it needs to stop. It just needs to stop.
Now, Marcus,
and it will continuously have a strike on the Untitled Mania Mug show whenever they appear.
Mark, now, do you think that this storyline is still continuing because it is the structure of AEW that we need to have something for these people to do on the show, so we're just keeping this storyline going?
Yeah, I believe that's the whole point of them with all their factions, giving people stuff to do. But I liked everybody outside of these factions more. I liked MJF when he was by himself with just Wardlow more than I like him with Pinnacle. I liked FTR and Tully when they were by themselves and they had the brushes of gold and they had to have real tag matches. I like, I just feel like everybody can do better. Pride Powerful can do better without this going on. Because the blow-off match should have been War Games or even Stadium Stampede. That we're still going on with this it's kind of overkill. Like, what? No one gets anything from winning this feud. There's no title on the line. We understand it's a blood feud, but they already shed blood. What more can they do to each other? I don't see the purpose of continuing this.
So Marcus, if we've been asking that question, who is the face of AEW? Weston B. Moore actually came with an answer that I think we all forgotten because it is a person.
He's wrong as well.
He might. Manny, I'll let you dispute this, but I believe
no, you say it. And
when they brought him in, they thought that he would be more than what he was. They wanted him to be with Edges on SmackDown, and that is Christian Cage. Christian Cage is providing the tutelage to Jungle Boy right now, but he hasn't went for his goal. Manny, you disagree with Christian Cage, and Christian Cage was one of my boys back in the day, but explain to me why he's not the face.
He said the oldest face in AEW is Christian Cage.
Oh.
But that is incorrect,
That's also a fact.
That's incorrect, sir, because the oldest face in AEW is Sting!
Technically, he is right. You're right.
He is technically right. Yeah, he's 61. Yep, you're right.
So,
100% right.
Let's talk about...
he don't look as old as, what's that guy in the Wingman? The, JD whatever? That dude looks like he's 70 years old.
So... Revisiting, so you guys know how I always complain about AEW is that they have these like false starts for some of their stars, like Jungle Boy get a push, but then he gets pushed back to something stupid, and same thing. Orange Cassidy is the prime example of this because Orange Cassidy at one point was at the pinnacle.
Right there.
He was at the pinnacle. Yeah, he might have been the number 2 or number 3 face in the company, but then he is regulated. I mean, regulated to a mixed tag match where he's teaming with Chris Statlander to go against Blade and Bunny.
The best part of AEW.
Huh?
You leave her alone. She's the best part of AEW this week.
Man, she might be the best part, but at the same time, Blade and Bunny have not been relevant within the company, and the Butcher is probably someplace touring with his rock band. I was like, this match just was not what I needed it to be. Marcus, what are they doing with Orange Cassidy? Because maybe he could be someone that could challenge Kenny Omega for his title again.
No. No,
okay.
no, stop having Santino fight The Rock. That shouldn't be happening. That's what Orange Cassidy is, a joke character. This is R-Truth every single week saying, I'm going to take you down, Drew McIntyre. That's what this is. That's what AEW will be doing right now if R-Truth was in their company. Orange Cassidy is right where he should be, somewhere in the middle of the show. I'm really sound like I'm down on this show. It was actually a solid show that I was entertained by. But there was a lot of stuff where I didn't like this mixed tag at all. I didn't understand what they were doing with the rules. There was a lot of men on women physicality that seemed like they could end the match that way, but I don't know. Whatever.
I would say that the best thing about Dynamite for me personally was the guy who was in charge of American Top Team who got into the middle of the ring and cut a promo disrespecting everything about AEW. The man has went to the School of Hate founded by Eric, and I enjoyed every second of it. He talked about how he liked the old school championship wrestling, what happened to the real men, Terry Funk, Harley Race. It was a great moment that it felt authentic, and I enjoyed it.
Whose side were you on? Is
I'm
he
on
a
his
heel or face?
Marcus, he's speaking truth, so he's a face to me. He's a face to me.
Does Amanda Nunes and Jorge Masvidal agree with him?
I don't know.
Because they were clapping on everything.
Eric, at what point during the week do you rank this promo? Where do you rank this promo of the week?
I mean, it could be in the top 3 because for me personally, it was
top 3.
Top 3. It's probably number 1.
What, next to
be
Natty?
fair, I'm surprised you didn't have the audio for this.
Manny. I'm sorry, but the curtain has been pulled back. El Luchador has pointed out what the true thing was. Yes, that was me in the white face getting that promo. That was me in the middle of the ring. I understand.
I knew it.
So,
seriously though, I thought that was the best promo of the week, and he might have better mic skills than anybody in the AEW and maybe even the WWE locker room. He just showed everybody that's how you got a fucking promo of pure hate and jealousy. He accomplished everything. He got the people behind him, and then, Les Archer went out there to take him out. But there was really no purpose other than this to show up Jorge Masvidal and Amanda Nunes was there. I thought they were gonna get more involved.
You know, that was honestly just a clever ploy to show that they were in the audience, that we have famous people that watch Dynamite, which knows that they probably just walked out for that one segment and went back to the back. But his promo was fire. Manny?
Just to comment on what the Disman's last two comments were. But it's 2021 now. We're living in the ADD, attention deficit disorder version of wrestling now, where you can't have things last for like how long, because you're just going to get tired of it very quickly because you've got too much content being pushed out and you're just going to get oversaturated, so you can't have things like that. This was, it wasn't always weekly, so like you would catch these feuds here and then it was like you would piece it all together, so it didn't feel stale. That's why it could last. But now, because you live in this I need it now kind of generation where you binge watch everything and absorb everything about that content.
No,
you
I
get tired of
things.
Go
long term. I think we can still go long term with stuff. I think we can still do it.
Not with the internet.
A dusty 4 horsemen thing. I think what you could do though is script it better. Like if you want to go with something that's really long term, that's been going well. It's the name of the show, The Family, the Usos, and them and their drama. That's just been going on since last August or something.
Yeah, but
this is almost a year of that, and it's just paced well and it has intricate parts. The pinnacle and Inner Circle, in my opinion, it's just, we're gonna have a match. All right, we're gonna have a match, and I don't know where the animosity is or the hate is. Like in Austin McMahon, you understood that there's this unruly employee that I can't fire because he makes too much money, and the boss who's just an absolute dick who continued to throw new things and obstacles at him. In the Pinnacle and Inner Circle, we had their blow-off match. The blow-off match happened, and it was War Games, and it escalated really fast. It didn't really build anywhere. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
You know, I'm the host and I raised my hand, and I think I think Wes and B More hit it on the nail. I think at the end of the day, the reason why it doesn't connect is that the Pinnacle is not interesting. The Inner Circle is not interesting anymore. Like when you think about Roman and his cousins, that is interesting because you can see on Roman's face, he is so sick and tired of they bullshit. He's sick and tired of it. And we even complained about their situation because Jimmy just had an epiphany. Maybe he was sober and he realized that, hey, maybe Roman is right. You know, it is. Was that too soon? Was that too soon? Maybe.
No.
So
it should have been a few weeks ago then.
So let me
maybe
go into the main event. The main event.
But can I also pause to say about the reason Dusty and them worked? And I know I wasn't alive in the prime of my life for that. But from what I've seen in vignettes, it was just a lot of talk. It was a lot of talk. It was them talking back and forth. It wasn't a bunch of matches. You get the matches on the circuit when you go like to this show in town, this show in town. But when they were on TV, they were just interviews and them talking shit to each other. And occasionally they have pull aparts.
No,
this
Marcus,
one they've been touching for months.
Marcus, I just want to point out, I think Manny is right. We're in the ADD era of wrestling. Like, for the fact is that back in the 80s, people could be patient and find out where this storyline is going.
No.
Let me give you an example of what people are not patient. For example, when they announced that Bayley had injured herself training, the first thing people start saying, oh, this is a work. I need to look into it. Like, instead of like, if it's a work, if it's not a work, let it happen. She's removed out of the match and you'll find out what happens going on. But people want to go and do research. Well, I think on this day she hurt her knee training with that person. Like, just let that shit happen. Like, for me, if at Money in the Bank, if Bayley comes out and attacks Bianca and her knee injury is fake, I will say, oh, well, that was an interesting story that she gave up the I Quit match.
There's no match at Money in the Bank.
I mean, if it happened on SmackDown. But you know what I mean? So, like, I just think you need to establish it. So, factor in you guys' strike rule of stuff. I would like to give a strike to the main event for the simple reason I was so upset that the Young Bucks had shaved. Why did they shave? When they had the mustache, they looked like they were the most evilest son of a bitches on the planet. And then for this street fight, they were shaved. And I mean,
Wait a minute. So you like your men shaved?
No, I liked it with the facial hair. Facial hair, man. That's what men look like men. You know that dude that's in the Nightmare Family that's hairy and shit? That dude is a man right there. He's hairy as fuck.
The mustache look was ridiculous, but I'm going to go out and say this week's look was even more ridiculous. They had bandanas everywhere, Eric. Do-rags all over their wrists. on their ankles. They had do-rags on their heads. It was just do-rag mania, and it was ridiculous. And booty shorts and knee pads.
Well, we know how you feel
was
about.
a heel look.
We know how you feel about booty shorts.
The answer this time isn't family. This time it's fashion.
I am not a bear, but El Luchador, I know what that means. Anyway, so the main event, Marcus, did you enjoy the main event?
You know, for all its chaos, and I said it on the Thursday show.
I wasn't even looking at the comment underneath that.
I know. But they were good. Hey, you know what? I set myself up for it. It's okay. It is what it is.
Barrick. Generating heat. But you know, in the chaos of all this match, and like I said on Thursday, I don't believe the Young Bucks could technically have a bad match. I just thought this was a lot of stuff going on here. It was a good match. It was fun, exciting, blah, 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 blah. The Good Brothers could have came out an hour ago, though. They could have just started in the match.
Yeah, it's like, why did they have to wait for the ref bump to come out? They didn't have to wait for it's a street fight. It was like no rules. You didn't have to wait for the referee to be knocked out to come out and interfere with yourself.
Yeah, but like the one time they didn't have to follow rules and they did.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? I mean, like, it wasn't a bad match. It's just, it's with everything with AEW, everything is sometimes just overproduced. It's just like, we need to protect everybody and stuff like that. And under no circumstances that I think that Penta and Eddie Kingston were going to win the championships. What about you, Manny?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why would this makeshift team win the titles? And as I said, I'm starting. This is all Pac's fault. He needs to move to America and stay in America. This is his fault for having to travel back and forth in quarantine. He's a fool.
No, Manny, I don't blame Pac for this. I blame his Tony Khan for signing Pac when allowing him to work like this. The dude has less dates than Brock Lesnar in 2020.
At the end of the day,
that's his schedule.
I would point out,
why has he got a Riho contract?
So, like, if this is the lifestyle that Pac wanted to live, he should just sign with NXT UK, made a lot of money, and I think Walter versus Pac would be a really good match. I think I would enjoy seeing that match. He would get destroyed.
Shout out for 2 weeks where we get Walter versus Dragunov 2.
Woo! Can't wait. Can't wait.
The highest views for NXT UK since last November.
So, speaking of
12, they're gonna get 12.
Speaking of repeats, let's talk about Friday Night Smackdown. I'm curious. I'll start with you, Marcus. This was pretty much a repeat episode, and I think this might be the third week that we've had the same matches that we got on this week. Huh?
This is the first week in a long time we didn't get Apollo and Aziz walking
But
around.
Marcus, we still got Cesaro versus Seth again. We got Nakamura versus Corbin.
You got that on SmackDown. That was pay-per-view.
Yeah, you didn't get that. You didn't get that last week.
I thought we did.
This is all fresh matches this week, except for Nakamura and Corbin.
But that one felt fresh because it got personal. They took his G-Ride, man. They took his G-Ride at the auction. I mean, I've been hot. Did you guys like in those qualifying matches that they had someone who had already qualified at ringside doing commentating? Because I thought Big E and Pat McAfee on the couch might have been one of the most enjoyable moments of SmackDown for me because they were just two damn fools right then and there. When McAfee says, I don't have the luxury of instant replay, but I had to see it live. And I was like, you're the one that got away from your commentating table to go over there and sit with Big E.
No, correction. Big E asked him to sit with
him.
He
did.
It's not.
Yeah. It's like, it's a two-seater. It's a two-seater, Pat.
But at the end of the day, Manny, Pat McAfee knows what his job is. And he could have said, you know what, I appreciate the invitation. However, I have a job to do. I have a job to do.
Pat McAfee knows what his job is, and it's to be the most entertaining man on commentary right now. And he, this segment proved it. I thought them adding into this qualification match, Big E and McAfee on the couch added more insult to the wound to Baron Corbin's situation and his bad hairline.
I also thought that Michael Cole was relieved that he got invited to the couch because
you flash random comments up there that gives nobody time to see anything.
Well,
and I have no idea
Yeah,
what it
you
was
flash
about.
them up and then we can't read them quick enough.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
well,
like, it doesn't give me a second. Like, who reads that fast?
I do. Have you read it? Okay.
Yeah, but the way you go, blink, it's like a blink. I don't understand what's the point of that.
Okay, then I won't go so fast, Marcus. I'm sorry. I'm quick to trigger. So, I enjoyed this match. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. I enjoyed this match. I thought Nakamura and Corbin have very good chemistry, and Nakamura has qualified for Money in the Bank. Marcus, you've been a lifelong Nakamura fan. Do you think Nakamura has a chance of winning Money in the Bank?
No.
Okay.
He has no chance to winning Money in the Bank. In fact, of all the people in the competitive, I think he has the least amount of chance. Him and Boogs would be an amazing Money in the Bank. I can see it now. Boogs coming out with the guitar playing his theme song, and everybody's like, oh shit, here he comes to cash in each time. But nah, I don't see him winning Money in the Bank. There's only one man winning Money in the Bank, and it's star-studded Money in the Bank match, and that is Seth Rollins.
So you spoke on that. Did you enjoy the Cesaro-Seth Rollins match that had a little bit of color in it, Marcus? It had color.
Which match are we talking about? Are we talking about Nakamura or Corbin?
We're talking about, because you jumped to it, Seth Rollins versus Cesaro.
No, I won't jump to it. Baron Corbin's doing the best work of his career, damn it, and people need to respect on his name. No one's played the hobo poor gimmick better than him, and this match meant something to me after the 50th time they wrestled. It finally got to my head that this is important, and you need to pay attention to everything. And the only person that can save Baron Corbin, and I'm saying it right now, is LA Knight with that $1 million money, and he changed his life around. All I want to see is Corbin pull up in a car one day, and you like, oh shit, he got his car back, and LA Knight come out the other side. He cut Baron Corbin's promos, and he be his muscle, and it just worked. I feel like that worked on SmackDown.
I just feel like the thing is that Baron Corbin, he makes every gimmick that he is given works. It's just that people just don't like Baron Corbin. I think he was a fine king. I think he's doing good. Doing good as being a broke man.
You don't even know what he was. Who he was before.
I mean, the man has the hairline that I suffer from. I agree, Manny.
I don't think you ever let it get that bad, though.
No, I wouldn't, because I was looking at my shit today, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of Baron Corbin. I need to shave. Manny, the two qualified Money in the Bank matches, did you like them both, and which one did you like more?
I enjoyed the Seth and Cesaro one. I think I enjoyed the Seth and Cesaro one because it's been a long time coming, and I enjoyed it. Maybe this might be the end of their little rivalry, but then we also had that stare down between Seth and Edge later on in the night. So that's obviously going to be leading into SummerSlam, I'm believing.
So, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, that WWE is currently in a threesome with Fox and USA. I think if you're USA, you have to be a little bit more salty, because once again, Fox just seems like they're getting everything to go their way. Because this week, we had a women's tag team championship. Well, it wasn't a championship match, but we had the women's tag team that...
Oh, I don't get to talk about Seth and them?
I thought you did already, Marcus.
No, I only talk about
Marcus,
Corbin.
go ahead.
You didn't even talk about Seth and what you call him.
Marcus, because I want to talk about a bigger moment. But Marcus, go ahead. You talk about Seth and Cesaro. Then I'll go back to the bigger moment that took place.
I thought it was a good match, and this is the end of Cesaro's push. He's dead again, guys, and the internet can go upset. He's just dead. He's just got to be there. He has no more future. He ain't going nowhere. I thought it was Big E that was dead, but no, it is Cesaro who is dead. Cesaro's back in the ground. They have no attention. And you know what? I'm going to say this. Hot take. Good reasons, too. He was terrible in that 1 week he went for the title.
Damn, man. You
Son
just
of
hate
a
on
bitch.
you hate on Cesaro. But like
I like Cesaro. Probably best wrestler in the world. However, he can't run. He can't be the show.
He can't run the bingo?
No.
But going back, so speaking of running the bingo, they gave us the unfortunate pleasure of having Tamina and Natty speak on the microphone. I still don't know what Tamina said, but it doesn't matter because we got the debut. We got the debut.
Sweating profusely though.
We got the debut of Shotzi and Knox. Now I'm extremely confused because Tegan Knox also returned on NXT. So because she's Tegan Knox on NXT and she's Knox on SmackDown, Manny, if she's two different individuals, is she allowed to have two different feuds going on? Because she cost Candice and Indy their tag team championships.
I don't think she's I don't think she's NXT bound anymore. I think she just went to get back at
Candice,
and now she's back. Now she's been moved over to SmackDown. I think this is the last we see Tegan Nox on NXT.
But I have a more important question: is this the last that we see of Ember Moon?
Yes, Shotzi has clearly upgraded or downgraded. Both have had serious injuries. It's not like I wouldn't necessarily say an upgrade. A little more push to the curb.
Marcus, my question for you.
I
have a question for you, Marcus. How about that kick? How about that kick done by your girl Tamina, Marcus? That stutter step kick.
Oh, no, they weren't ready for that. But she was going to double clutch that kick. You didn't think she had the balance to do a double clutch, but she does. She got that balance to do that double clutch any time of the week, and she was ready to do it at any given moment. But, Shotzi's upgrade, I think we need to start taking bets right now who's going to get hurt first, Shotzi or Nox. Because it just seems like Shotzi goes to kill herself every single week, and I don't think the main roster girls are going to catch her as good as NXT girls. And I think
NXT girls never caught her.
Manny,
what are you talking about?
Manny, I'll tell you.
They barely caught her.
Now, Marcus,
they saved her a few times.
Mark, I don't do this, Marcus, but I'm gonna agree with you, Marcus. I think Shotzi get hurt first because even when she did her coffin drop onto Natty or Tamina, she almost missed and broke her neck. So I just don't. I just don't think Shotzi has a long way going for her. But, those allergic knees that Tegan Nox has, you don't know how long that's going to last either. So it's a very sticky situation.
It's like a rickety team. It's like watching the Los Angeles Lakers with Anthony Davis and LeBron playing. One of them going down. One of them is going down.
Can I say, honestly, for me, I thought WWE did a really good job, especially on SmackDown, Sonya Deville, with filling in for this Bayley injury. I think Carmella is the proper replacement because I don't think anyone thought that Bianca was going to lose to Bayley again. And I also think that they were able to tie in the storyline that now Liv Morgan could be in the Money in the Bank match. Marcus, if Bayley never got hurt, if she is hurt, was Liv Morgan get into the Money in the Bank match?
Yes, and I like the story of Liv Morgan fighting her way into getting into that match. However, it was cut short due to this injury. I feel like she was going to fight somebody else and beat them and be like, what the fuck, I'm still not in this match? And then she was going to get it on Friday or if, someone got hurt or something that would matter. But, it worked out for the best.
Manny, what about you? Carmella versus Bianca?
It'd be good. I was thinking who else would it... Because Bianca would stand out like a sore thumb if she had to carry a feud on her own. She's not good. She's not good at the initial storytelling. She's good in ring, but she's not good at the initial storytelling. But the main thing was if Sonya Deville pulled her bullshit for 3 weeks in a row, and no one called her out on it, I'm writing a letter to WWE management.
I can tell you, what made this whole announcement, this whole segment more enjoyable is that Shantae was downstairs watching it with me. And women see things that, us men, we don't see. Like, first, she was critical of Carmella's dress. She was like, why is she going to wear this dress if every time she got to try to keep pulling it down and stuff like that? And I said, that's because the dress looks fine on TV, and that's what the men want to see. But then the moment was Bianca when she came out.
Nice dress.
When Bianca came out in her heels, and we both said she can't make it down the ramp in them heels because if you guys notice, if you go back and look at the footage, Bianca almost fell. She almost fell in her heel boots. It was dangerous. And then Shantae was not impressed by Liv Morgan. She said, "Oh, she could be with Bo Dallas. It makes sense." And I was like, "Damn."
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's harsh.
Yeah. They could have did that. They could have did that. I think bringing in Ruby Riott would have made Liv even more mad. But I guess
would have been great. Ruby Riott, you were fired.
I guess we should talk about the meat and potatoes of this week's episode of SmackDown, and that is the Roman family, him making amends with his cousins, and then the Rey Mysterio's finally coming back to work. Manny, were you offended that although offended? Were you offended that although Jimmy Uso is accused of having another DUI, that he was on SmackDown in a prominent role?
Well, there's only one way they could have addressed it. I think me and Marcus were talking about whether you address it or not on SmackDown, and they didn't. But maybe in the lead up to Money in the Bank, that's how you write him off TV for a bit. He fucks up somehow, and then you write him off TV and let him go into his A&A stuff and whatever he needs to do, because like he does need help. Like realistically, he does need help. He really does need help, because it's not the first time he's done this.
Well, he had
so like to keep him in such a prominent role, it does need to question all the stuff that's happened. I just feel like you can't just write him out what they had going on in the story.
I will point out that right now he's only accused of having a DUI. We don't know any of the facts. This is what the police say. They could be inaccurate. Remember, he did beat his last DUI case. I don't know what type of magical powers he has in Florida, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a point
money
where
and a great lawyer.
Yeah, you have to like. I don't know if you can punish before he is convicted. He has not been convicted yet. I thought that the subtle thing that Jay said to him, no matter what you go through, Oos, I got your back. I was like, that was him supporting his brother in this situation. And I actually feel, and this could just be me, the DUI situation adds some more seasoning to the story between Roman and Jimmy and how he just can't stand that motherfucker right there because he keep fucking up. Marcus, how about you? How do you feel about the whole entire dynamic with the Roman Empire?
Well, on a serious note, on the Jimmy Uso kind of deal, I do not think the man should lose his job for this DUI. You know how many people get fired at their job because they got a DUI? Like, I don't think he should be fired. And people are going like, fire Jimmy, fire Jimmy. Some people have problems, all right? I don't know what Jimmy's going through right now and, his situation. But, he can probably get some help. I don't think sitting at home watching Naomi wrestle and watching his brother and everybody.
Marcus, Naomi ain't wrestling.
She's on every Monday.
Watching Naomi wrestle would cause me to drink.
Yeah. I'm just saying, him sitting at home and not working does not help the situation.
Wait, hold on. Watching Naomi wrestle and having to watch Raw to get to watch her wrestle would cause me to drink.
Who watches Raw sober? Who can watch Raw sober? Well, I'm just saying, having him just go home, I would have liked if they would have incorporated a little of this reality into it, though. When Roman could have just been, berate him. Like, the start of Smackdown, I thought was going to be Paul Heyman. He don't want to talk to you. He don't want to talk to you. You know what you did. You know what you did. Like, I thought that's what was going to happen. Because it started like that. And I was like, oh, shit, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. And then when they get to the ring and Roman's like, I got to address some family business. And then Jimmy comes out and it felt like the entire time they were going to jump him out. The entire night, I felt like he was getting jumped out. Maybe they're saving it for another week or so, in which he can take his time off. But I thought they should have incorporated more of the DUI.
No, I personally feel like them.
But then again, it may not look good on the court case.
No.
The judge is like, you're playing games.
No, I think at the end of the day, until he's convicted, you keep going for it with the storyline. And then if he gets convicted and he has to go for it, then at that point, then you will address the situation. I think the Roman story is a little bit too much, especially we're going to SummerSlam. I mean, let's be real. Usos versus the Mysterios is a match that we all need to see, because I don't think anybody wants the Mysterios to have the tag team championship. When someone complained about the Smackdown tag team champions not being on TV, I had to think to myself, who the fuck are the tag team champions? And I thought it was Ray and Dominic. Damn, I was like, damn. Marcus, you had your hand up.
They're in a prominent role. They're not doing anything wrong with the titles. They were written off because they were attacked viciously by the Bloodline. I mean, let the story play out. Like, the tag team champions aren't on the show for a reason. It's because they were attacked.
No.
Dominic was powerbombed off the.
Dominic was thrown into another dimension.
Yeah. He was.
Yeah.
He was.
He was thrown, and Ray had to go find him. And Ray went through Hell in a Cell with Roman and was beaten to death. There's a reason why they weren't on TV. So they were off for 2 weeks? It wasn't that long. So, and since they were all TV, we have all these other tag teams, I guess, blossoming with the Alpha Academy. The Street Profits were eliminated by them, but they have their feud going. You have the Mysterios, and then you have the Dirty Dogs, who are, who have disappeared. But
I haven't seen them in a long time.
You have a solid tag team division on SmackDown.
I mean, overall, I thought the storyline,
And the Usos.
I thought everything that was going on, I was entertained by it. I mean, Roman is completely frustrated with his insubordinate cousins. I mean, if you tell somebody to stay their ass in the back I don't care if you thought it was a trick. You don't bring your ass out there. You know,
I gotta be a man.
You know, but they had to protect their ooze. And I look forward to next week to see how Roman addresses the situation, because I felt that he thought that he had the situation in hand. Manny, have you ever told somebody to do something, they didn't listen to you, but at the same time, by them not listening to you, it kind of benefited you?
Eric, that happens all the time in retail management. Like, I'm sure Marcus in his job, when he has to tell someone to do something, they don't do it as well. It's a case of being a manager.
They do it. They just do it incorrectly.
But Eric, how would you handle the situation next? Is the real question.
With what?
With Edge.
With Edge? Man, his ass got to be beat. Steps? We need to we got to go beat up Beth. We got to show up on NXT. Oh. NXT, and we got to take Beth out. I think that's what you got to do.
No. As the head of the table, you don't do that. The head of the table, he calls a Samoan summit, and he tells Naomi, he includes Naomi, but he has no control of that Jax, he calls Tamina, and he sends him to NXT to kill her on commentary.
Yeah, we got to take out Beth. We got to take out Beth.
He has no jurisdiction in the Samoan summit there, because the one Samoan he needs control of on NXT is not related to him. The only Samoan in the world he's not related to. Samoa Joe is in charge.
God damn it. When Manny brought up the Samoan Summit, it just made me think about Hill Khan. We need Hill Khan.
There was a Samoan Summit during the Survivor Series, in which Nia Jax thought she could pull a rank on Roman and say, "No, I'm doing the table spot." Roman was like, "Nah, back up."
Lana thought we got the rank.
Yeah. But Nia Jax argued with Roman. Nah, that's our spot. We're doing that tonight.
Overall, though,
y'all ain't doing shit.
I thought that Smackdown was such an enjoyable show, and they didn't have to try as hard as Dynamite did to make it an enjoyable show. Like, Dynamite just threw everything at the, they fucking threw everything at the wall to try to make people like the show. And I get that AEW fans really love that, but I thought that Smackdown was probably one of the most traditional book wrestling shows that just came across very enjoyable. And I think we got an influx of new stars. I think the Toni Storm coming soon vignette was really nice. Yeah, I mean, Manny, right then and there, I was like, you know what? She might have a chance to be a big star on SmackDown. She did not succeed at NXT. She did not. But she did at NXT UK. But she might do something on SmackDown. Marcus, you look like you want to say something.
She has a chance. She's blonde. She has a chance. Vince is going to be like, who's this one? She's a bigger version of Ruby Riott. She's a thicker version of, not Ruby Riott, of Liv Morgan. She's a thicker version of her. Sorry, Liv Morgan. Someone's taking your job.
It's not only that. Bayley is literally going to be out for 9 months, allegedly. So you're going to need someone to step in.
Well, you know who they're calling.
Sasha can only do so much.
You know who they're calling. They're calling Sasha, man. Sasha's going to be there after that match. I mean, it's going to be Sasha Bianca at SummerSlam. We already know that's going to happen.
Yeah, and, I believe it's the reign of NXT will continue all the way up until post SummerSlam, in which they're going to go hard and take everybody. Bronson Reed gone, Toni Storm gone. NXT is going to have to rebound. And it's not like it matters.
So El Luchador says that Dynamite matters. He said Dynamite does that, Eric, because they only have 4 pay-per-views. No, they do that because that's the only they do the indie type of wrestling where it's spot after spot after spot. That's what their company is built off of.
I don't even know what this question is pertaining to.
Isn't the next 3 weeks all kind of like gimmick shows anyway? Like it's
Fyter Fest night one,
Fyter Fest for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, Road Rager, not Road Rage. Road Rager is actually one of their pay-per-views. Just like NXT had the Great American Bash this week, and I thought it opened up with a astounding tag match between MSK and Thatcher and Ciampa. I did not like the finish. I thought the roll-up was a little bit of a cheat for a very entertaining match, but at the end of the day, I thought it was a good match. I don't know if it made MSK the star that they need to be, but it was still a good match. Marcus, how did you feel about the opening tag team title match on NXT?
Well, I'm on the side of the fence that this is the best you're going to get out of MSK. It's probably in this match. Really don't get... The problem with this is the lack of personality and characters. They're just who they are. And it's just like, oh, it's MSK. All right. And Thatcher and Ciampa, you see like there's actual people there, and they're actually aggression. You understand what they're about. MSK, they're gonna do their flips, man, and they're gonna try to win. And it was a solid match. The right team won. Maybe Thatcher and Toothless Timmy not Toothless Timmy. Ciampa and Thatcher get caught up on this purge of NXT.
Marcus, I think I agree with you.
Want to go up.
No, Ciampa's never going up, Marcus. I think, Marcus, you're right, though. I think the personality of MSK is having a hard time coming across. Because I remember what stood out to me so much is when they're doing the championship announcement stare down, and you see I know Wes Adams is the black guy. He's holding the title.
Wes Adams?
It's Wesley.
Whatever his name is. Who the hell is Wes Adams then? I don't know. Anyway,
who the fuck is Wes Adams?
Wes is holding the title, and he looks uncomfortable, like he doesn't know what to do. But then his Nash Carter, is that his name?
Yes.
Okay, he's over there like
Nash Adams as
like he's like a junkie coming off a high because he can't stop moving. And at the end of the day, I kind of wanted them to lose the title, but I guess they didn't happen. Manny, did you like this opening match?
I did, but I did feel also the roll-up finish was warranted because of they were the ones that were going in as the underdog. So the roll-up win seems like they snuck one out, which benefits them in that situation because they were the ones going in as the underdogs when everyone thought it was going to be where Thatcher and Ciampa were the ones going in as like the big dogs in this. And obviously you can't hold the titles up high last week when a man kisses you on the cheek.
You can't. You just can't. You can't. You just can't. You gotta whoop that person's ass.
Barrick knows all about that. But Manny, you think you're gonna get what you want?
No, I'm never gonna get what I want.
I'm never gonna get what I want. To join Walter.
I would love it, but I'm never gonna get what I want.
So I would say that I would like to give NXT credit, and it's not just NXT that needs credit. But I also think that Johnny Gargano needs to get some credit too, because I think for 2 weeks in a row, they've made Karrion Kross look like he's actually a real champion and a badass. Because I would say in this segment, I was rooting for Karrion Kross to whoop Johnny Gargano's ass because he was so fucking annoying. But Manny Hand went up first, so Manny's going first.
I want to grab something. I want you to toss it to Manny. I'm tossing it to Manny right here.
Manny, I don't know what is about to happen.
Real champions do not have suits, jackets, all creased up, sir. That is not a real champion. He needed an iron. Manny,
he had never win an Iron Man match. I'll tell you that right now.
You know what? I'm a man who handles a lot of wrinkles in his life, so I'm okay with that. I just thought that I was
not okay with it.
I was okay with the segment. You guys just don't like Cross, so you guys are gonna ridicule everything that he do. I thought it was nice that both decided to leave their ladies in the back. That they were gonna have this happen, but I think
hold on.
One of his ladies prepared for a match.
Gargano has never brought his ladies to this feud with Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is the one that keeps bringing out his lady.
He has brought out his lady. It's called Austin Theory. Theory is always out there. He was not this time.
That's a hype man.
But
Eric, I don't think that's his gender pronouns either. So get it correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoot. Get it together, Barrick. Oh. All I want for Cross, I think he need to look at Scarlett and be like, give me some of that voodoo shit you were doing to Keith Lee. Fuck this whole life up. He ain't been the same since we did some voodoo to him. Why is Gargano allowed to talk so much shit to me and get away with it? Ridiculous.
The thing about it is that Karrion Kross is not long for the NXT world. I think he's leaving soon. Like, it might be next week. He might be on SmackDown.
Well, even next week.
Did he pay attention to his goals?
Yes.
What he does every day.
Yeah.
I wake up, I think I'm going to retain my NXT title so I can get noticed for part 2 to get to the main roster and main event WrestleMania. And part 3, become WWE champion. He has no reason to be in NXT if those are his 3 goals.
And, like, the greatest thing about it, like, NXT almost is very extremely predictable what's going to happen. Like, next Tuesday, it's going to be Johnny Gargano defeating Karrion Kross in some fluke fashion. We don't know how. He's going to lose that title. Karrion Kross is going to probably go to SmackDown and debut because Fox keep winning the world.
Nah.
And then the week prior after that, Adam Cole's probably going to defeat Johnny Gargano to get his title back because Adam Cole finally showed that he's better than Kyle O'Reilly. Marcus, Kyle O'Reilly had some momentum. He had that Orange Cassidy momentum going for him when he was Cool Kyle. But Adam Cole has put an end to that, Marcus. Are you okay with Adam Cole finding out, remembering who the fuck he was, and being the man again?
Well, he was the man last time. He beat him twice in a row, right?
No, I think Kyle beat him the first time.
No. Kyle beat him the first
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
And Kyle was still living off of that he beat him.
Yeah, so he beat him. I think Cole is leaving eventually. I don't think he's staying there.
We say that every week.
It's going to happen one day. It's going to happen.
And he defies us every week.
Cole is not leaving. I don't think Cole is leaving. I think he's going to stay down there with Gargano, and I think it's perfectly fine. I think they're going to be the bookends to NXT. I just think that if he goes to SmackDown or Raw, do you know how the few hardcore internet wrestling fans would kill WWE if they treat Adam Cole the way that they treated Keith Lee or anybody else who's been called up from NXT?
Keith Lee beat Randy Orton in his debut match.
And Marcus, when's the last time you seen Keith Lee? When's the last time?
We don't know what's going on with Keith Lee, all right? He said be optimistic.
I mean, he's having all these Instagram, like, I'm kind of depressed things going off. I don't know what to think about it. Manny, did you enjoy the main event?
He keeps having these revelations and no one knows what's going on.
Manny, did you like the main event between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly?
Yeah, I did, and I much like Marcus, I did think this was going to be Adam Cole's last match, but it seems like it's going to go on for a while.
Now, Marcus,
he ain't leaving.
I'm going to ask you this question, Marcus, because, you know, O'Reilly is still a good hand. Marcus, would you like to see...
Eric, Keith Lee's in jail. Just remember that, everyone.
Yeah.
Keith Lee is in jail.
He's in or going to jail, and an enemy of the state.
Marcus, my question for you is that, yo boy, we had a cipher this week. The cipher was interesting, and I thought, things were accomplished. Would you like to see...
Interesting?
Yes, Marcus.
Your review of the cipher sounds like a white man that has never heard rap music before.
Well, because let me just point out to you, Marcus.
It's interesting. I'm not going to say if it's bad or not.
Well, Marcus...
It is what those people like to listen to.
Because I thought that they accomplished what they needed to accomplish. First, they figured out what they can do with Ashanti Adonis because I knew he had no bars to spit. I knew. So, at the end of the day, Marcus, we've seen CB4. You know the person with the least talent is made the DJ. They are the DJ. That is what he was. He was dropping the hot tracks. B-Fab, I thought her verse was fine. Top Dollar was the best. And Marcus, I know you're going to disagree with me. I personally thought Swerve was okay. He took all that time to put up his little microphone and all that good stuff. And I just felt that,
he was playing piano? When he set up that microphone, did you think he was going to play piano?
I was like, I didn't know what he was about to do. I just felt that maybe he should have started it off because I thought no one could follow Top Dollar.
No,
that's what I felt like.
He's the champ and the leader.
But Top Dollar, we all know who the star of that group is Top Dollar.
Top Dollar has the most charisma, yes. But I thought Swerve's ability to go from fast to slow in his bars and do different verses. Top Dollar has that one verse. I think that's Swerve probably has multiple verses like that.
As I said on Thursday, Swerve is no better than any other SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't have that charisma to me.
I 100% agree. No.
And there's thousands of them on SoundCloud.
And I agree, man. He is a SoundCloud rapper, and that's what he sounded like, and that's what you get. Top Dollar sound like he has more charisma, but you know what? After a while, I bet you Swerve wrote his lyrics.
Well, Marcus, sometimes there's people who are rappers and sometimes there's people who are writers. And I have to say, I think Swerve might just be a writer if he did write those other lyrics. But I think we could all agree that Ashanti the Adonis is trash. He is the worst person of the group.
He's not. He's the crazy one. He's the wild card.
No, he's a fraud.
Marcus,
he's 100% a fraud.
He's the one who asked, I want to be.
Computers. You don't know.
Manny, can you tell Marcus, Ashanti the Adonis is the guy that we would both beat his ass so we can replace him in the crew. So you could either be Lord Manny Hayes or I could be Barrick the Killer. You know, it's just.
Marcus, all he did on those computers was press play. It was already done for him. He
Marcus,
pressed play and he moved away. You clearly told that.
Hey, everybody.
You clearly told that when he stepped away from the DJ booth, that beat was still playing.
Manny, watch this.
All these guys.
I'm about to be Ashanti. Here we go.
All these guys.
There it is. I'm dropping hot tracks. There it is. Wait. Here we go. Yeah, get it, Top Dollar. Everybody drop that sharpshooter cipher right now. Hit it, Marcus, get it. That's what Adonis did. Didn't do a damn thing. Not a damn thing, Marcus. Not a damn thing.
I agree with you.
Don't sit here and defend him. But would that be...
defend him because I have a legacy of having that participation in the group work, the assignment, in which I did nothing and let everybody else do the work. I have a history of that. And then we also, when I was younger... It's
kind of like you on the show with the Untitled Manny and Marcus show.
Why are you trying to drive a wedge?
Yeah.
I'm a wedge driver, man. I drive wedges, man.
That's what Berg does. He drives his wedge right through people.
You got that right. All night long. Get into the smoke, baby.
All night. Yogi Berry.
Anyway.
Go on to people picnic in basket. Oh.
So, Wes said Top Dollar said they wanted to tape their segment, but Triple H wanted to do it live. I think Triple H made the right decision. I think it being live.
I feel like most ciphers are taped.
They are, but I thought that this is professional wrestling. You had to take it to a different level, and I thought they were able to accomplish what they needed to accomplish live. I think the only issue that they fell into is that WWE production didn't really know how to end it because, like, when they're in the ring celebrating, and I felt that celebration went a little bit too low, they just cut to hit row and it went to commercial. That's all it did. I was like, okay.
This was a performance, it was a performance more than it was a cipher. The ciphers mostly have freestyles and stuff in there. Everybody seemed like they were pre-written.
Well, Marcus, the fact that the man had a microphone stand, he had Marcus, and Adonis still didn't drop no tracks, so he's trash. With that being said, I would love to see a Swerve Scott versus O'Reilly feud for the North American Championship. I think that would be a very good feud going forward. I think that's what you can do.
About
O'Reilly will wrestle circles around him. You don't want to put him in that position.
Yeah, but we have to point out that, like, that North American Championship, who's going to be the person that's challenging for it? I mean,
your boy Escobar.
Escobar ain't been seen for a while, Marcus. He might got drafted to Raw, and then at the end of the day, his career is over. But let's talk about the main star of NXT, the Great American Bash. That was the match that had the most stakes on the line, and we already know what Marcus wanted to have happen. It was Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight, and if Cameron Grimes lost to LA Knight, he had to become a butler, Marcus. Literally, LA Knight did everything in his power to try to cheat Cameron Grimes out of this match. Marcus, it was points where I thought Cameron Grimes was going to win this match, but then a DDT on the $1 million belt solidified that Cameron Grimes will become the butler to LA Knight. Manny, are we going to enjoy the coming weeks of Cameron Grimes being LA Knight's butler?
Of course we will, Eric. And I believe Triple H and Vince McMahon feel like they have rewritten history and erasing Virgil from history from this.
They're saying he was a slave, damn it. A slave. But this is going to be great TV for a bit. And my big question is, after, watching the match and thinking it through, there's only one person Cameron Grimes has to blame for this match, for losing this match, and that is whoever's in charge of taking the props and the belts to the side. Why was that belt laying there? Why was it laying there? Just right there.
Because, Marcus, it's not a real title. It's just like a piece of material coming down to the ring. It's like wearing a jacket. The jacket just sets right there. It's like
wearing a gold chain. You're right. But I don't feel it was cheating. I feel like it was just a good, well-placed bit.
I mean, I thought...
You know what? It was good. It was my favorite match of the week.
I think for me, personally, it had one of the most satisfying endings of all the matches because I think that he cheated, but he cheated in a way where technically it's not cheating because that happened outside the ring, and it just...
He know what he did. He rolled the title onto the apron right after he did it. He knew exactly what he was doing. He a piece of shit, Eric, and you know.
But Marcus, don't say
LA Knight was accidentally did this.
No, Marcus, I'm saying LA Knight is a man that knows how to take advantage of an advantageous situation. When he went to the outside of the ring, he saw the $1 million belt where he tried to cheat inside the ring, and he just said, you know what? Fuck it. Let me do a DDT right here. Marcus, he made a DDT relevant. It hasn't been relevant in a long time. And honestly, I felt...
What? Seth's DDT Cesaro on the ramp this on SmackDown.
Remember, I'm talking about...
Did it win the match? Did it win the match? It did not win the match.
Neither did this. Because he put him in that ring and did that weird finisher before he did that. After that.
Yeah, but he was done already before. He was almost counted out.
Argument 1.
No, because Manny, my statement is that was the best DDT. That DDT took place on Tuesday. Seth Rollins' DDT didn't take place on Friday. So I'm talking in the past. So at that time, it was the best DDT in a long time. We can argue that maybe...
This is better than Seth's DDT.
Marcus,
Seth had the turnbuckle spot in which Cesaro was bleeding from. The DDT did nothing.
Overall, but I think this is where NXT really excels over AEW for me, is that they get me invested in the low-level characters and storylines that I feel that I care. Like, I could care less about Jungle Boy and Christian Cage having conversations. I could care less about what's going on with the Dark Order. But you give me Cameron Grimes and LA Knight and segments of him being a butler, I just can't wait.
For the index.
Well, I guess we should also talk about
drama
that.
Continues.
That new women tag team champions were crowned. Zoe Stark and Io Shirai are the new women's tag team champions. It was a match against the Way. Tegan Nox interfered and distracted Candice LeRae. I have mixed emotions about this because I really enjoyed the Way as the women's tag team champion, but I think they need something to do with Io and Zoe Stark, and eventually Io will turn on Zoe Stark because Io is...
Can't it be the other way?
Marcus, we all know Io is better when she's a bad guy. She's turned on Zoe Stark. We know it. Manny, do you agree Io is going to turn on Zoe Stark?
Well, Io has to turn on Zoe Stark.
Exactly.
I can't stand Zoe Stark. She's 27 going on 50.
Yeah. But she's also probably the brightest women's female wrestler in NXT. That's not Raquel Gonzalez. I think Zoe Stark might be the future of the NXT women's division. And I said that right now on July 10th, 2021 on episode 738 of the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast.
Not that hard of a take. That's not that hard of a take, Eric. I want to ask you a question that I asked Manny, or that we brought up on the show that, that needs to be solved right here. And I didn't know if Manny would have the answer to this, but you know what? We came to a solution. And we're going all the way back to AEW for this. AEW's women's division. Is it or is it not booked like Brian McKnight's song, Back to One?
One, you're like a dream come true. Two, I just want to be with you. Three, you're the one for me. You know what it might be? It might be.
For respect. And by the way, all his steps is just go back to one. It just seems like it's a loaded recipe that doesn't really work because he has to go back to one. He doesn't have any more steps.
So
he's limited to 5.
I just want to give
Nia Rose is back to 1 in their division.
So I encouraged my friend to go see F9 because she had no idea what she was like. Should I see F9 or should I do another movie? So she gave me a review of F9. She says, I can't say F9 was good, but I didn't regret it. But also, they were wearing scuba suits. And I was like, that's what F9 is. It's not a good movie, but it works.
F9 is history, people. Two brothers went to space.
I'm going to say it again.
It's scuba suits. It's scuba suits, people.
This year in film, we're getting the most unique versions of black people. 2 that have went to space. 1 who was conspiracy brother and helped take down Mega Godzilla. I'm just saying, black people are moving up in the world of film. Oh, and then you had Jax.
Yeah, with his tiny ass robot arms.
Tiny robot arms. Science fiction doesn't do black people well.
Let me tell you. Oh shit! I totally forgot about Jax and his little arms trying to punch that bag. And then, you know what? His superpower was unlocked by saving white women. It showed so much truth.
He was like, no, Sonya. I am now a man again.
Oh shit.
But should we have the award for the worst black man in movies this year?
Who?
Because right now at the top, the top. I'm saying, as in the best, who've had the most success, has got to be Tyrese and Ludacris in Fast 9. At worst, it's Conspiracy Brother from Godzilla.
Nah,
Yes.
man. Jax, man.
Conspiracy
Jax with the
brother.
little R's, man.
No.
Jax
Jax
has a redeeming quality.
Jax ended up serving a purpose. Conspiracy guy, nah. I was angry with him the whole way through that movie. Let alone the movie didn't make sense.
The thing is about that, bro, that could have went to any race.
Yeah.
And I don't think
Exactly.
we've ever seen a black man in that role in the history of film.
So
But it was unique. It was like, we want you to play Conspiracy Brother. Like, he won that role over a million other different people.
let's just talk about something that I thought was funny that happened, that took place on Raw. This is the second thing I'll talk about. Big Swole was a little bit upset that her man lost a little Hogan. I just want to find out. That was one of the more hilarious things I see. How dare he lose a little Hogan? Raw, really nothing happened of any importance, really, y'all. I mean, Marcus, is there anything that stood out to you?
It did earlier in the week. Now that we've been through so much of this week with, you know, Malachi and, you know, the Uso DUI and Bailey's injury and all the stuff that goes on in a week of wrestling. Nope, Raw meant the damn thing to me.
Happened on Raw.
You know, Raw can't even get no damn controversies. Like all these other shows, something bad's happening.
Like,
I mean, you know, if injuries happening in places or people getting knocked the fuck out by like Xia Li. Yep. What do you think of Ginger
And the
Love
crutch
motorcycle,
fight.
Eric?
okay, first of all,
The crutch fight. The crutch fight. That's why Bianca has reason to believe Bailey's faking. Because there were two bitches on Raw faking an injury just so they can have a crutch fight in the middle of the ring.
well, first of all, let's talk about Drew McIntyre being a dick. I mean, how dare you take 3 days to get back to the modern day Maharaja? He wanted to hang out with him, and he took him 3 days just to say no, that he was busy. Who is busy for Jinder Mahal? He was right. Drew McIntyre changed, damn it. He changed. And that was a sweet ass bike that Jinder had.
Yeah, and he changed, Eric. You know how you know he changed? Drew ain't even the champion no more. He don't have no championship obligations.
No, he don't.
That we know the champion has. which is bullshit anyway, since we're in a pandemic. No one has obligations like that.
Marcus, how do I feel about Jinder and Drew McIntyre? Marcus, is fucking Raw. I don't care about anything that takes place on fucking Raw. It's just bad, man. It's sad.
Not all bad. There's some good stuff in there. Ricochet and Morrison had a good match. That's going to happen again this Monday. And probably again the following Monday. In front of crowds.
So that's pretty much.
I thought you fell asleep there.
No, because Dizman texted me. He said that he would like to call in, and I asked him, would he rather call in or me just read his email that he submitted at the smoke, the sharpshooters at gmail.com.
Wait.
Oh.
Too late, man. You already been caught up in the smoke. You've been caught up in the smoke, baby. And you can also help us out by making sure that you like and subscribe and hit that notification when Marcus and Manny release some new content on our channel, because they're always putting out something new and something exciting, because that is what they do. They are the two hardest working individuals in the wrestling podcasting game right now, and we should all commend them for the work that they are doing.
Getting paid.
I really doubt that we are the hardest working ones in the game, because we're not getting paid. The ones who are getting paid to do other people's stuff are the ones who are the hardest working in podcasting.
Well, I mean, you guys still do a lot of work.
Hashtag cancel Raw. You can't cancel a show like Monday Night Raw. Again, Raw may be terrible, and people say WWE is dying and they're in the toilet. They're still doing double the ratings of AEW. They're dropping terribly, but they're still doing double AEW, NXT, and all these other wrestling shows. So they're in good shape, but terrible. I give them till the crowds come back, you know.
All right, I think he's gonna call in right now. I think I know how to work this. Hold on, let me see if I can work the ones and twos. Let me see. Let's see.
You can't.
We'll
I don't even
see.
know why you offered to do the call in if you can't do the call in.
Marcus, I can always do the call in, baby. I just don't know how. I'm the bear in this situation, Marcus. I control everything. They call me Yogi. I got all the picnic baskets, baby. I got all the picnic baskets.
Adrian does.
Yeah, but you shared it with Boo Boo.
Adrian, can you hear us? Well, hold on 1 second. Now, can you hear us?
I can hear you. How is everything?
Can you guys hear him now? Well, we'll see. Hopefully it's going through. I don't know. What did you want to say, Adrian?
Well, really, and I'm not going to take up too much time because I'm on the move, but I just wanted to thank you guys because a lot of times when I write in and I have my comments and you give your opinion, it basically just shows me that there's not just one way to look at things. And it's really helping, and this isn't even a cheap plug, it's helping me with my book, it's helping me how I view wrestling, and I just wanted to say thank you for all you've done, with me over the years. Because I know I don't write in much these days, but I'm still a listener. I still value you guys' opinions, and I just appreciate all y'all have done.
Thank you so much, Adrian. We really appreciate the support, and keep doing what you do. Manny and Marcus both appreciate your sponsorship that you don't pay for on the show, and they were muted. So anyway, you take care of yourself and stay safe out there in them streets.
You too. Thank y'all.
All right.
Y'all have a good.
Wait, that was
I'll
it?
catch y'all
That's
next
it?
That's all he wanted to say. Yeah,
That's it?
he wanted to thank you guys. That's all he wanted to do.
What? No poem? No nothing? No bars?
No next
Disappointed.
Winston Gentleman's discussion? Or,
Oh, no,
Disappointed.
no, not this week. I'm on the
We're
move,
expecting
but
more. I
just
was thinking a take.
Huh?
He wanted a take. He wanted a take.
I wanted a hot take or something, Or I was like, oh, just a
Not
thank
this
you.
week.
I appreciate the thank
no,
you.
I've got one. No, but not this week. Not this week. But I do have one, but not this week. I'm on the move, but like I said, I just wanted to thank y'all. Because nobody really takes time to say thank you that much. So I just wanted to thank y'all.
Now, Disman, I always know.
You hear that, you ungrateful people? That this man is saying thank you to us. None of you do.
Manny,
But-
calm
but-
down, Manny.
Thousands of you.
but Manny,
thank you.
But Manny, at the same time, I also know when people say thank you, that usually means they gonna want something eventually. So we'll wait and see what the Disman wants. Anyway, man, take care of
they do.
yourself. All right.
You too. Y'all next.
Oh, I hung up on him. My bad. I'm sorry.
He got the God bless you in. He got the God bless you in. That's what every phone call is for me after the God bless you. Once you say God bless you, I have to write the cut. Hang up. Hang up.
What,
right
you don't
there.
follow up with a hallelujah.
Hallelujahs.
Hallelujah.
Anyway, guys, it's been an enjoyable time on this episode. I don't think I missed anything that we should talk about. I mean, I even brought up Big Swole talking about Little Hogan. I think that was a pretty clever thing to bring up. Oh, did you guys want to mention Matt Hardy and Christian Cage in a battle of NXT? I mean, Dynamite, because they did get a little segment.
No, let's just keep this moving on.
Oh, you got to go to work today, huh, Marcus?
I do. And you know what? And, I'm blessed every day I have a job.
Hey, Marcus, I'm Ashanti Adonis. Drop your balls. Go ahead, baby. Get it. Drop that beat. No?
You ain't got the hair of Ashanti Adonis.
Man, I don't want the hair of Ashanti Adonis, damn it. I don't want none
What?
of that.
You don't want that here? You don't want none of that?
You don't want to look like Andre 3000?
No. So, Betty, Wes said thank you, Lumberchat, keeping it 100. So, in other words, he's still not thanking you. He ain't thanking you. He's saying fuck your couch.
He's barely ever in the Lumberjack, so thanking the Lumberjack.
Manny, the pandemic is over. The man is working on productions in the great state of Maryland. I don't know what he does, but I'm glad he decided to join me. He joined me on my show. Has anybody figured out what happened to Chris? Has anybody figured out what did Marcus and Manny do to Chris? Chris, I just need to know if you're okay. That's all I need to know. Floyd, too. If you listen to the show, Floyd, where you at?
Floyd. That's 2 decades ago.
It was 2 decades ago. Hey, many people don't know Floyd is what saved the show from happening because we was about to quit. This was after Marcus walked away from the show because he was upset about something, and then we got an email from Floyd. And the next thing you know, 737 episodes later.
38. You got the title card up there.
Because
I don't know how you missed that.
No, because it was because that was one episode, so I subtracted that one episode that he saved us on and made it 737. That's what I was doing math. I know this is episode 738.
But then it'll be, some other episode or something. I don't know.
And I will let everybody know, me being the Switch guy, I was disappointed with the OLED announcement. It ain't nothing but a brighter screen, man. Ain't nothing but a brighter screen for $50. So sad.
What are you talking about?
You're going to buy it because you like wasting money.
Yeah.
As much as I would like to dispute what Manny just said, I cannot dispute it.
Look. If you look carefully behind him, you'll see a PS5 collecting dust.
It's unbearable how you treat your items. You only need the bare necessities, Eric, but yet you keep burying yourself with Baron Corbin. I don't know. I just keep saying stuff.
Just need the
what is
bare
that?
necessities. Simple bare necessities.
That is the bare minimum of what you need to own right now. You do not need Mario Golf.
It's fun, man. It's fun.
How did you justify that to your wife about buying that one this time?
I just didn't tell her. This one's still in plastic. Since we want to go down my road of shit. Oh, no, I played that. I suck at that. Yeah.
You just end the show. I do not want to go through your list of shame.
Well,
things.
We want to say thank you, everybody, for watching this episode or listening to the podcast. We really appreciate all your support. I'm Eric.
Before I say my name, Wes said, can we plan this year to give flowers to the guy that died at the docks?
This year I may walk to the dog, and similar to Bruce Wayne and his parents, leave 2 roses there for them. I don't know what the second rose is for, but I'll leave 2 roses down where the man died at the docks died.
I would say that fuck the man that died at the docks, send the money to us and buy a shirt to help us out at storefrontier.com/DSPN. Because I'm going to play that sad video for Marcus again. And Marcus, what do you think about the overall quality of the t-shirt?
Oh, it's very comfortable, very nice and snazzy. I wouldn't say anything bad about it if I was. Yeah,
snazzy.
Snazzy, goddammit! I wouldn't say anything bad about the shirt, especially when we're trying to sell it right now.
Did you Google words how to sell to white people?
Snazzy.
Snazzy.
I feel so bedazzled in this situation. Manny, Manny, you don't have to do that because if you remember of the last couple of pictures that we have, our shirts have been sold to white people. So we're doing a good job with that one. So, I need some of the other minorities to help us and buy our shirts.
Wes, we know about you buying fake shirts.
It's all right.
Still never forgiven you about that.
Wow, I remember that. Oh, the lumberjack.
I still appreciate that shirt.
The championship that failed once Marcus got the title because he never defended it and he didn't even bring it up anymore. Anyway, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Remember to stay sharp. And Marcus, are you going to introduce yourself before I play the last closing video of the ad to buy a shirt?
We're still playing this video.
We don't have a new video. I could not play the video, Marcus. I could not play it.
Play the video, man. Play the goddamn video.
We out.
Later.
Peace. Meet Marcus. You may know him from the Untitled Manny and Marcus show and the Sharpshooters Wrestling podcast. You may know he spent the majority of last summer living in his car, and now he's lost all his money in Vegas. Help Marcus by donating to the Sharpshooters Wrestling podcast or going to storefrontier.com/DSPN and buying some of our merch. Help today before it's too late.